a rock sponsor. She got somebody
Wow.
to sponsor the cost of the landscaping rocks. And he's also going to do some rock sponsoring in Africa as well. So that's
David,
like
stop
the
chewing
best
your fingers.
news.
That's amazing.
I know, Tamara.
Hi, Tamara.
Can't even believe it. It was the best news ever. As soon as I opened my eyes and checked my phone.
Shilpa is just one
Rebecca,
person who always keeps us like in check. Like she noticed that Alex had tagged the wrong Jenga. And that was like 2:30 in the morning when she told me. I was like, oh my gosh, she's always watching out for us. Yeah,
She
we love
is.
your mom. Always watching out for us.
Oh, and also Rebecca,
Mhm.
I have two friends joining in today, and they're the same ones who helped me in painting the rocks. So they'll be
Yes.
Oh,
tuning
okay,
in.
that's good.
So you can meet them too.
Oh, I would love to. I saw them on the video where all of you introduced yourselves. I
Yeah,
saw
oh, okay.
them and then you introduced yourself last, and I'm like, I know that face.
I've been emailing every week some friends from the office, and because that have kids, and they keep telling me, oh, they're busy watching football or whatever. But I don't know.
Such a
Maybe,
shame.
yeah.
What a shame, right? Look
Yeah,
at these
losing
kids
out
I'm
on
from
great
all
things.
gonna
over.
keep
Yeah.
bugging them. I wanted to show them
They're losing
that
out
we
on
had.
wonderful things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I show them the people that we've had on this, I think their kids would really enjoy it.
Yeah, show them the videos of Yahtzee and his friend. I'm going to share the video on Monday because social media traffic wise,
Yeah.
you don't get a lot of views on the weekend. So I'm going to wait until Monday so everybody can really see it.
Okay.
But when you show the other kids, no matter where they are in this world, that there's kids from everywhere doing this, they just think that it is so cool.
Yeah,
It is a cool thing.
some people
Yeah.
who work with me, I show them, I have like a bunch of these pictures of that you put together with the people's face in the description. You know, those, I don't know what you call them, but those things that have the login password in it and it has a description about the person that has a picture of them. So I have a whole bunch of those saved on my office computer. And whenever anybody comes in my office, I end up somehow going to that discussion about VOOC and our Zoom calls. But yeah.
David, that's amazing. Look at you.
I know. But I really want this one guy to come on with his kids because I think his kids would really like it. And I think he would be very impressed. He's a good friend of mine at at the company I work for. He's the vice president of sales, and he has 3 little kids, and I think they would really enjoy it. Especially
Yes.
last week and was with the first 2 people that we had this year. They would have really enjoyed that.
Oh my gosh. Tell them to
Yeah.
watch the replay on Facebook. They can always watch the replay. And if they watch
Okay.
Yahtzee and Ariana
Yeah.
just from the past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
there's no way they won't be drawn in. That's for sure.
No, I hope so.
Oh, hold on. I have to say goodbye to my guest. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Say goodbye from me too.
I will.
Wow, she's still got the Christmas trees and everything in there.
Yeah, she's still in Christmas, which is cool.
Yesterday we took the Christmas tree down, but we still have the lights outside the window because it took a lot of work to put them up. So I don't want to take them down right now. I don't think I will take them down. I'll leave them for next year.
Okay.
Are you tired, Tamara? You're rubbing your eyes like you're tired. That's what I do when I'm tired.
Countries, I'm not tired.
Okay. How's your garden today?
My garden is fine.
Yeah. We usually have a garden by our house too, but I don't like help so much. I really need to help more often, but Caroline and her mom really do a lot of work with it, and it's always really nice. We have sukuma wiki and tomatoes and
They don't know what Sukuma Wiki is.
oh, they don't?
It's else?
Oh, it's Swiss chard and collard greens.
I mean, Tamara would know, but maybe
Yeah,
Yati and
it's
Rebecca
so
wouldn't
nice.
know.
Yeah, it's Swiss chard and collard greens, and there's a way that the Kenyans cook it up, and it's really nice. It's very tasty.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
It
That's
is.
right
It's
up my
really
alley.
nice. Yeah.
It sounds very healthy.
Yeah, it is. A lot of the stuff that Caroline, the Kenyan type food is quite healthy.
I believe that. We need more of that in America.
A lot of
I know.
a lot of vegetables, and they use
That's always a
cilantro.
good thing.
They use cilantro a lot, and I just love cilantro.
They say some people really hate it. I can't imagine. I
David
love it.
David
I
David
hated
used to
it.
hate it. Yeah.
I used to hate it, and I thought to myself, God, I love this girl, so I'm just going to eat this stuff. But I don't know what in the world they taste. And then all of a sudden, I loved it, and now I just can't believe how much I love the taste of cilantro. And I've eaten it raw before, and they laugh at me. And I've had it like in a salad of cilantro salad. It's
Cilantro salad.
well, without any salad dressing because the taste of it is so nice.
I agree. It's very
No.
fresh.
It's very good.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't like it before, but I just really love it now.
We
It's
all
also
make
very healthy
mistakes.
for
Yes,
you.
yeah. I mean, the amount I love it now is an extreme on one side, and it's the amount I didn't like it when I first met Caroline. And then they used to put it in all the foods, and I thought, oh my God. But I love it now. I'm so glad that I learned to love it because it's really, really good. Cilantro is so nice.
I need to make a note of that, David.
Yeah.
David likes cilantro.
Yeah. He loves it. He can chew on it like
I
raw.
can chew on it raw. It's just such, and I love whenever I buy it, I always have to smell it beforehand. So I want the strongest cilantro smell before I buy that thing.
You grow it in your garden?
I go to the supermarket and pick it up.
Yeah, but we also grow it.
grow it sometimes in our garden.
It's
Also-
pretty easy to grow.
Also, David, you also got. I'll just show you what's cooking over here because I think you guys might like it. So
Oh,
this
wow,
right
that looks
here is
nice.
called masala puri. It's
It's
called
called what?
masala puri in India.
Oh,
So
we love masala. What's that? What is that?
so
I
this
like
right
those.
here is like this is like a puri, like a small little if do you know what a puri is, Caroline?
No.
Like
Uh,
okay, so it's basically something, it's like a puffed up wheat ball, something like it's sort of like that. And
Mm-hmm.
this is just the mini version of it. So we crush all these like the puris, and we
Mm-hmm.
place them along with the beans, onions, and like I think this is bundi, which is this is what you call the yellow thing that you see over here is bundi in India.
Oh, okay. Wow, looks yummy.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it
I
is.
bet it smells so good too because of all the spices from India.
Yeah, it does. I wish you guys could smell it too.
I would
Tastes.
love to have some.
What do you eat
I
that with? You
remember.
eat that with roti?
Oh no, this is just we eat it like this only with a spoon, and we take the pani puri, the bundi, onions, peas, everything. We take it in one spoon,
Oh my
Mm.
so
goodness.
it tastes delicious.
Yeah, I wish that you lived in my house.
Yeah,
You
Rebecca
remember?
and Dr. Caroline, we should have a Zoom call where we're showing our ethnic recipes.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
great
You remember
idea.
there
Yeah.
was a story, a
yes,
spicy story in school.
Yeah.
One day it was that I remember one day it was a spicy story. One day after lunch, me and the classmates went to in class doing our homework, and then this boy who is my weirdest deskmate in the class, came with a bunch of like noodles to school. It looks like radish or something like that, but he had spicy noodles with it. So he started eating them, and he gave a cup of them to one of the other row. I think a few people like wanted to like, one person ate it and started like The other
Was
one,
hot?
the other girl wanted to taste it, but she didn't taste it. When I borrowed him the noodles, I tasted it. It was like my mouth is burning. My mouth was burning, and then when I was trying to drink water, the boy told me not to because it might make it even more hotter.
Yeah,
Then
it does.
alone, I wanted
Milk or
now I
bread?
wanted and so I wanted the school to like I want the teacher to give milk. Instead, not milk, it was yogurt. So it just like cooled down for a while. And you
They
see,
say you should always eat like a piece of bread if you're eating something that's very, very spicy.
yes, but I drank water which made it even more hotter, more spicier.
Hmm. Yeah, it's true. If you drink water, it makes it more, it makes it not help. Sometimes milk will
So I
help, or
wanted,
sometimes a piece of bread will help.
yes, I wanted to
Even like salads, like certain raw cabbage or raw stuff. I don't know if it's cabbage like celery or something. Because I went to an Indian restaurant in Kenya, and it was so hot because I like hot, and so I asked for the hottest, and then they had all this salad on the table on the plate. So I took a bite and I was burning up like crazy, and I took the salad, and that helped to calm it down. But it was really, really
luckily,
hot.
luckily for me, before the teacher came with the milk, it like calmed down a bit
Mm-hmm.
because I was complaining, but my mouth is burning. Not only me, also another girl was also like,
Wow.
Lessons learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Caroline, David, and friends, do you think we're ready to get started?
I think so.
Cool. All right. So, to everybody here in our Voice of Our Child, our inner circle, our closest friends, welcome. So happy to see you. We have a couple new friends here today, some of Yati's friends who have been taking part in the Rocks for Recovery campaign, which I will be presenting next week. I'm so excited. Rahul is with us today. I see Shilpa.
Hi.
Hey, how's it
Hi
going?
guys. Hi. Good.
Hey,
How are you
Shilpa.
all? Hey. How are you?
Hi,
How is
So
everybody?
good. I was
Hi,
saying
David.
my day started out like so wonderful getting your message.
It's looking so pretty, I should tell you. I just wish I could show it to you. It's
Oh my
looking so
gosh.
pretty, especially after the Mod Podge.
Yes, it really works wonders, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I'm learning
I'm
something
so
new about
excited.
art.
Yes.
What
You
works?
get, the videos, the pictures are so amazing. I can't wait to share them and just show them to the world.
Oh, okay.
So, and Rohit, thank you for joining. Rohit, Rahul, our friends from India, thank you so much for coming on today. Okay, so before we get started with our introductions and our question of the day, which hopefully all of you saw in the WhatsApp, we like to start our morning with a little dance, a little stretch. So if David is ready, our resident DJ, with a little bit of music so we can get up and just move around, what do you say?
I say okay. And
Awesome.
Caroline, I changed my song that I told you I was going to play. They both begin with the same first word, but I found this other one when I was looking for that song. So I told Caroline what I was going to play, but anyway, it was Sweet Caroline is what I was going to play, but I decided for something else. It has sweet in front of it.
Okay.
South way. I'm so bad now once again, and I'm pleased to say it.
I think I found the microphone to take it back on my computer. There you go.
Thanks, David. I love that song.
Me too. I love it. I love it. I love it.
When I was younger, my friends and I used to drive around, and when my friend got a new car, we used to drive around in her new car listening to that song. All the windows.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Even me, when I was younger, we used to sing that song. And I
love that song. It's
I was
a classic.
younger a lot before you were younger.
Good choice. Good choice. Although I think we look forward to Sweet Caroline next weekend. That's for sure.
Okay.
Such a good song.
Thank
you, David.
All right.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. Thank you so much for being in our inner circle of close friends and family here at Voice of Our Child. We like to take our first hour that we're together to just check in with one another, introduce ourselves, and answer an open-ended question based on the presentation today, which if you haven't heard yet, our guest presenter is coming all the way from Sydney, Australia. Now, he can't be with us on real time because it is very much the middle of the night there. So he created a video presentation just for us today. So we will get to view it. We'll stream it live on Facebook, but let's really be sure to come back with our reflections, questions, and comments. So when Glenn Marsden, our presenter, checks out our Facebook live stream to see the interactions and gets back to us with answers to our questions, let's make sure that we have a lot waiting for him there, okay? It will really show him that we're paying attention and that we appreciate him, which of course we do. So the best way we can show that is by really engaging with the presentation and coming back with those reflections, comments, and questions, okay? So think about that. If you need to grab a pen and paper, I highly recommend that. So let's get started by doing our check-ins, our introductions. So name, age, where you live right now, and your answer to the question for today, okay? The question is, when have you found the joy or beauty of imperfection in your life, okay? Nobody's perfect, right? There's really no such thing on this earth, right? For anybody walking around on this earth, nobody is perfect. It doesn't exist. So when have you found a time in your life that's made you feel thankful, joyful, or has made you appreciate your imperfections or the imperfection of even a situation, right? Okay, think about that. I'll go first. So I'm Rebecca West Hensinger. I'm your moderator. I'm the director here at Voice of Our Child. I'm 39 and I live in Allentown, Pennsylvania in the United States. And a time in my life that I have found joy or beauty in imperfection is kind of my family's story. So both of my parents struggled a lot with drugs and alcohol when I was a little girl. And even as I grew to the age of some of you, 10, 11, 12. And you know, that was a really big struggle for my family, especially for my dad. And I'll talk about that in my presentation next week. And that was definitely an imperfection in my life. But I have found the joy and beauty in that because I celebrate that my parents live a life of sobriety and no longer suffer from substance use disorder. So they no longer use drugs, which is great, which was really hard for them. And it's hard for a lot of people around the world. But I have found the joy and beauty in that because whenever I tell the story of my family and everything that they went through to not use drugs anymore, I think that it inspires other kids to know that they're not alone if they're going through the same thing. So there is a lot of joy and beauty in that. And I think the more we talk about imperfections, the things that are hard for us, even the things that have been hard for our families, somebody else will hear your story and realize that they can also be strong too. So that's my answer. So yeah, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that the past day. So in short, the things my family has gone through that were really hard, that made it hard for me, made it hard for my brothers, it was hard for them. There's still some joy and beauty in that when it's all said and done. So next, I would love to call upon our amazing founder and CEO. I got the chance to see her in person last night. Thank goodness, I've been waiting. We talk so much virtually and online. It's so good to see her in person. Her beauty just outshines any small little box that you see her in here on Zoom every week. Everyone, our dear founder, Dr. Caroline Burkake.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. It's always a pleasure to see you here, to talk to you during the week, but to see you yesterday and give you a hug was like, oh, you're just really one of my really favorite people. And as a founder of the Voice of Our Child, which again is an organization that we founded, actually my answer is kind of into this, but I first have to say that really I appreciate you, Rebecca, and everything that you bring to the Voice of Our Child. Your energy and your love and your commitment is just wonderful, beautiful to see every Saturday. So to answer your question about the imperfection, I have to say I was thinking a lot about, but I was thinking about it personally. So I was thinking about things that maybe have been attacked on in my life. But then I thought about, I think to me is, or any parent is to bring like healthy children and wonderful kids and kids who are, you know, like doing great. And I think that when I found out that my daughter had struggled with depression, I beat down on myself as a parent. I thought of all the things that I could have done wrong that could have made her be like that. And I was ashamed as a parent. I felt like I had failed. I didn't want anybody to know about it. It actually, I think, took me long to even tell David about it, or even anybody else. And I just felt terrible. It was really, to me, like, here I have tried to put up this perfect family and look at how much I have failed. And it took me such a long time to realize that there was nothing that I could have done, or there's nothing that I did to have her be born with that chemical imbalance and to have her depression, which was what she was diagnosed with, that it was a chemical imbalance in her. But still, as a parent, it was just like a brokenness, and I just was like, how am I even going to go out in the society and talk about the things I was doing? I was still doing the public speaking, I was still doing the the tours to Kenya and all this, and I was like, how am I going to even stand in front of people when I have failed so much, you know? And later, as I founded the organization, and really thought, right after I found out that she was suffering, I started educating myself on what's mental health, what's this depression in kids and everything. I went back to school. I founded the organization, The Voice of Our Child. I wanted to make sure that every parent like doesn't miss out on all the signs that has missed out. I wanted to make sure that every child knows that depression and all those feelings, what to call it, because my daughter didn't know what to call it when she was growing up. I didn't know what it was. And that's where the conflict came on, because when she slept, I thought she was lazy. When she just answered bad, I thought she had an attitude, but in reality, it was just her mind and how she saw me. And I wanted to make sure that every child, teen, knows that there's no shame in saying this is how I feel. And the same way you can go to your mom and dad and tell them I have a bellyache or a headache, you can go and tell them, I don't know what's happening in my head. I feel angry most of the time. I feel lonely most of the time. I just feel an anger that I can't explain. I have a fear. I'm just depressed. I don't feel good. And not have any shame in doing it, and know that there's a way that can be fixed. But that imperfection led to this beautiful thing now that we call The Voice of Our Child, that has brought me to all of you that I probably would never have met. So in reality, I just really thank God for that opportunity to be that mother of that child, and that I can use my voice to be able to create this beautiful village that we have here, where I just love everybody so much. And I can just see the changes that we're making in these kids. And I'm just so happy to see kids open up and talk about what they struggle with, and openly know that it's okay, and even adults. So that's my long-winded answer.
Very much imperfectly perfect,
Yeah.
and so beautiful. You know, and also it takes a really special and big person to see a struggle and use it for growth,
Mhm.
and use it to better somebody else's life, like all of us here at Voice of Our Child, like starting the organization.
Mhm.
You know, it takes a very strong person. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Caroline.
you. Thank you so much.
Perfect answer to kick off the morning,
Thank
for
you.
sure. Next, I would love to introduce to you our co-founder and CEO, our resident DJ, cilantro lover extraordinaire,
I went on,
my
and on about cilantro, didn't I?
cilantro anonymous, my dear friend, Mr. David Verkijk.
Hi, everybody. David Verkijk here, or Lacey Verkijk as my tag shows. I want Alex to fix that at some point. Anyway, I was thinking about this, and it's kind of interesting because I'm a vice president at my company, and I'm in charge of managing like a staff of like 5 or 6 people to help me along with my stuff. And I always kind of struggled with like training them and getting them to learn more and more stuff so that they can be more independent, and also to kind of be organized with all of those people. And so one of the guys that I have working for me um, has kind of stepped up in a sense. I mean, and he is he was actually kind of promoted to be an assistant to me in a more, you know, level that I really appreciate. And I felt a little bit unsure about that at first because of my pride. I wanted to be the kind of person that can do all of those things. I want to be able to do all of the managing, all of the training, all of everything. But he has really picked up on the business very well, and he knows what he's doing, but he still has to come to me with a lot of questions, which is fine. But he makes an effort to learn by himself, and he really helps me a lot with organizing everything and making sure that, you know, people are being held accountable for certain things. So I just really appreciate him working with me. And it took a little while for me to make sure that I wasn't feeling like my feelings were hurt or feeling intimidated by having him a part of my organization. But he's definitely a benefit to me and my staff. I mean, I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I'm accomplishing now with the rest of my staff if it wasn't for him working with me that way. So, but that was really difficult on my pride because I didn't want, I felt like a failure. I felt like I needed to be able to do all of this myself, and I wasn't able to because he has different skills than me. So,
Mhm. We can all use a little
Yeah.
help, right? No one person can do everything.
yeah, and his skills are different than mine, and those skills kind of complement the things that I don't feel like I'm great at, but I don't like to admit that I'm not great at.
Also takes a big person to admit that too.
Yeah.
You know? Interesting. And how long ago was that?
Well, he's been working with me for quite a few years, but in the last maybe 3/4 of a year or half a year, he got moved up to a director position. I'm the vice president and he's still under me, but he's a director position. And what he does is he basically helps me to manage all the stuff that's going on with the other people.
Mm-hmm.
Plus he has his own things that I have assigned to him, accounts and things. But I really, really appreciate him. He's a really nice guy, and he doesn't, he's not like trying to undermine me or anything. He's
Mm-hmm.
just a very, very good person.
That sounds like a good ending then.
Yeah.
Good ending to the story.
Yep.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, David.
All righty.
Great life lesson there for sure. Never be afraid to ask for help,
Mm-hmm.
right? And remember that there's always somebody out there to help you, right?
Yep. And
All
that
right.
I can't do everything.
And
seeking
one
for-
person
and
can
se-
never
and-
do everything.
Perfect and great at everything. I'm
And
just
asking
good
for
at-
help doesn't mean that you're weak.
Yeah.
So true. Absolutely. All right. I'm going to go right in with Lacey, of course.
All right, Lacey.
Hey, Lacey. Lacey number 2.
Hi everyone, my name's Lacey. I'm 14 years old and I live in Kinnelon, New Jersey. And my answers to the question would probably be when I learned about disabilities in school and allowed me to see that everyone has their imperfections and struggles, but that's what makes you unique.
Wow. Fantastic.
Thank you.
It's really important to, understand other people's, the way that they learn, the way that they express themselves. And now there's a name for most of it. I know when I was younger, and Dr. Caroline and David, some of the other adults on here, we didn't really talk about those things at school, right? We didn't name disabilities. We didn't have that inclusion. But now, just to hear Lacey, age 14, come on here and say that she understands, people's learning differences and she learned about it at school is amazing.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lacey.
Awesome. Thanks, Lacey. All right. How about Anita? Hey, Anita.
Okay, hi everyone. My name's Anita. I'm 14 years old. I live in Kinnelon, New Jersey. And a time where I had found the beauty of imperfection in my life was when I started learning and realizing the inner beauty that everyone held and like how unique it makes us.
How what?
How unique it makes us.
Oh,
Mhm.
good.
Beautiful answer. Very well organized and thought out answer. We give you an A+, Anita.
Thank you.
So agree with you. Mhm. How about Mr. Alexander Verkijk, who just released his first EP?
Mhm.
Saw the artwork for it on social media this morning. I really loved it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. My name is Alexander Jenkoverkijk, and yeah, I released a song recently called Her. It's my first EP, and the picture that I have on there is actually my friend took it. She lives in UK. Like I met a lot of people online through social media, so she took that in UK, and I was like, oh, this looks really nice. I want to use it for the EP, so I just put her on there and just edited it a little bit, but I really like it. It's really cool. And the question of today, of thinking about it for a lot, but I believe imperfections really build character because you learn a lot from yourself and others and what you might not like about other people. And like you once you realize your imperfections, you understand what good is from bad, and you can really figure out who you want to be in life. So yeah.
That's so true.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good answer.
Important lesson, you know, important thing to realize for sure. Makes you so much more accepting of other people too.
It does, yeah, because you understand the struggles. Yeah.
Yep. 100%. Love that.
Thank
Love
you.
that. Something somebody said to me the other day along those lines, and this is something to think about. Tell me if this blows your mind or not. Somebody told me that if you think of one or two people who you maybe don't get along with or you don't particularly like, that maybe that's a reflection of the things that you don't like about yourself or the things that you yourself that you're trying not to be. I just thought that was so interesting. That, you know, somebody who you see them and you're like, I don't know if I really want to be around you, but you can't really figure out why. Maybe it's kind of a mirror to yourself, you know, and the things that you don't like about yourself. I thought that was really interesting and
think
true.
it is. I
And
know
true.
that I annoy my family with my stupid humor, my puns and whatever, and they kind of roll their eyes and half laugh sometimes. And I know that that's the kind of person that annoys me the most. My father was like that, and it drove me nuts. My dad would say these stupid things, and everybody in the house kind of chuckled in a certain way. And I know I do the same thing, and I think I'm funny. But then when I think of my dad, he was so annoying when he did that. So I know I must be really annoying. So I know Caroline kind of probably agrees, whatever, but
I don't know that
I
anybody
might
on
not
here will
so
admit
glad that
that.
Rebecca put that question out there.
The good one.
A lot of people are opening up. Exactly.
Agreed. This is good. All right. How about Yati? Go ahead, Yati.
Hi everyone, my name is Yatar, but you can call me Yati. I am 14 years old and I'm from Bangalore, India. And I mean, one like the answer to the question is that at this one point of time when I was in the first grade, I was really involved with peer pressure. Like I would easily get influenced by my friends, try and copy exactly what they were doing. And there was this one new kid who came into our school, and he didn't really speak too much, and everyone, like all of my friends at that time, really avoided him. So I tried to do the exact same thing, but the thing was, when we had like a school choir or something we needed to participate in, like at that point of time, none of us knew like the initial part of the lyrics or like certain parts of the paragraphs and all. And it turned out that he was the only one in our entire class who actually knew the paragraphs and everything. So if it wasn't for him, we would all be like high and dry that day. So I mean, you should never judge a book by its cover. That's what I learned from that day.
Gosh, is that
That's it.
true?
Wow. That's, yeah.
That's so, so true. Yati, you always speak about your classmates with so much respect. Even when you talk about some things that you've been through that haven't been so easy for you, I've never heard you speak disrespectfully about anybody.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rebecca.
It's really, I applaud you for that. And so many other things. How about some of Yati's friends who were so happy who could join us? How about Rahul? Are you available?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi. Hi everybody. I'm Rahul, 14 years old from Bangalore, India. Okay, so the one thing that I hadn't done right was, okay, so basically there was this time wherein my cousin had got me a gift. Okay, it was like a Lego kind of thing, wherein he had to assemble and build it. Okay, so when I did that, it was like a robot. Okay, so what I had done was I put the right arm onto the left side and then the left arm onto the right side. Okay, and after that, when I tried to make it move, make the arms move, it went haywire, and that whole the whole video was kind of recorded. And like when I go back to it, it just brings joy. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
You'll have to share that video with us.
That's imperfectly perfect.
And maybe even better than how it was intended to be. I mean, it was
I know it
Yeah.
must have been, yeah.
and funnier. That's awesome. Perfect example. Perfect example. Thanks, Raul. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah,
Thanks for
nice to
taking the
meet you.
time. And how about Rohit? How are you? Rohit from India.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Rohit from Bangalore in India.
How old are you?
I am 12 years old.
Oh, wow. Is there something, Rebecca, do you want to ask him the question?
Sure. So, Rohit, was there ever a time in your life where something was imperfectly perfect, where it didn't go the way it was supposed to, but you found some joy or beauty in that?
Yeah, there was once I was playing basketball away in my court, and I didn't literally just threw the ball, and then it went out, but then I just felt it being fun. I don't know why, but then it was really fun.
Yeah.
So
Who
yeah,
says you have to make it in the hoop?
It's
yeah,
true. For it to
but
be a
that
good
song was
game, I
really
know.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I understand that. Cool example. Thanks, Rohit. And thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Hey, good to see ya.
Hope to see you
How?
guys in future ones.
Yes, you
Yeah,
know
he
where
did.
to find us. Same place, same time. We're
Every
here.
Saturday, and you're
We'd
gonna
love
love
to
it.
see you. How about our dear girl and our future guest presenter in February, Miss Tamara? Hey, Tamara.
Hi everyone, my name is Tamara. I'm 11 years old and I live in Nairobi, Kenya. So what the thing I wanted to explain that didn't turn out was probably okay, it was in school. And we usually like there's a class which remains. So the teacher allowed us like to remain. So when we remained, people like we like go out and talk aloud every time. So when we go back, we got back in class, I had that a boy that when I was about with one of two girls, I saw like a girl like was running with the other boys because they were capturing them. And then in the circle of a group, the girl did something that wasn't expected. She F off the boys, which turned out unexpectedly. Like the boys were shocked. And after class, I heard the boys saying that the jokester of the class is a bully. Well, he's a bully, but he wasn't like a bully because didn't first time didn't like first time usually bullies he bullied a girl, calling her that she has like I told you that story that time. And now he's like now he like scratched a girl in the lips. Now he's now continue to be bullying other people. I don't know why he's doing this because if the boys wouldn't have if the boy wouldn't have if the boy would have not bullied other people, then the boy won't call him a bully.
That's so true. You earn your name because of the things that you do.
That's true. Tamara always brings us a lot of interesting insight all the way from Kenya and what it's like to be a student there and the things that happen in her school. Sometimes the things that bother her, the things that she thinks are not fair, and then also some things that are going well, right?
The first thing I said that the girl F off to the boys. The second one was the boy calling the other boy the bully.
Mm-hmm. But what ended up being good in that?
What ended up good in that is because, like, you see all those people in our school, like usually like, what is that? What's
I don't
usually
understand what you're saying.
no, what is usually good is that I'm not like in part of those like other groups which gossip, which bullies, which do all those bad things. I'm not a part of them because if I was a part of them, then I would be doing the same thing as them.
Got it. That's more clear then, Tamara. Thank you. I think that sums it up. Good point. Remember that. How about, oh, who do we have? Sandy and Michelle.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Sandra. I'm 20 years old. I live in New Jersey. For the question about a time that I saw beauty in imperfection, it can really, I feel like, to the situation now with like the pandemic, like just expectations that people had for their year when it was first beginning, and just having some of those things like not take place. But it can make us like more appreciative, like for being healthy, for in good health, or like having our family safe. And yeah.
That's true too.
Absolutely. I think that's something that everybody everywhere can relate to that answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good answer. You look
Good
very
points.
You better talk correctly.
How about you, Michelle? Hi, honey.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, sweetie.
My name is Michelle. I'm 7 years old. I live in Kinnelon, and something about
When you like when there's like a bad time, but you saw something good out of it.
Beauty and protection. It was a long time when I went like skating on Rebecca's birthday. I keep falling, but I started getting up, and I've been trying again instead of just give up, because I want to try, and then I got better.
Love it, Michelle.
So nice, Michelle.
What a good example.
I know, that's a very good example. I was wondering what she'd come up with.
Same with me, because everyone, Michelle is our youngest participant here. She just had her 7th birthday last week. And for her to make a connection and come up with an answer like that, bravo, Michelle.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check
I
your
would like to
mailbox
talk about.
today. I sent you.
I would like to talk about Michelle's. She lost her tooth, but she's getting cuter by the day. Every tooth
Oh
that
my
falls, she's getting
God.
cuter.
By the moment.
That is so true. Teeth or no teeth, she looks beautiful.
Yes.
Love you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Aw.
Shilpa might as well go next.
Yes, go ahead, Shilpa.
Hey, thank you so much. My name is Shilpa. I'm from Bangalore, India. Sorry. Yeah. So the imperfect, perfect moment for me is when I decided to mentor Yati, gave up my profession. I know it was a decision. It was a life-changing decision for me because I had to give up my career to be a full-time mentor for him. And yeah, I got a lot of flack from friends. I lost out a lot of friends, rather, like, who were like, what is wrong with her, is what the kind of thing. And they started passing comments. They started gossiping about me, which I got to hear. They were so-called friends. So yeah, that was like the most imperfect moment for me, when I took a serious decision about my son. But the perfect moment is today, where I might have lost my friends locally, but here I have friends internationally. So yeah, that's my imperfect to perfect moment. Yeah.
Thank you.
But Caroline, one more. My one line imperfect to perfect moment is thanks to Ayla that I am over here. I think
That's such,
rest you
I
fill in
know,
the gap.
exactly.
I am also
You fill
very
in the back.
grateful for that.
Yeah.
My imperfect moments, Caroline will fill it in kinds when we have time.
Yeah. Thank you, Shilpa. I'm glad that
Thank you.
we met by default.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you
I
so much for
second
always
that, Shilpa. I second that.
Thank you.
Wonderful. How about our beautiful friend from Cote d'Ivoire, from the Ivory Coast? Go ahead, sweetheart.
Hello, my name is Rithika. I'm 9 years old. And one thing I found beautiful out of imperfection was one day when I was in art class, I was trying to draw an animal, but when I started drawing it, it turned out like a horse.
What animal were you trying to draw?
I don't know its name, but our teacher gave us a piece of paper which had many animals on it, and you could pick which one you wanted to, because we were doing like a caveman art. So I picked an animal, and when I started drawing it, it turned out like a horse.
I'm sure it was a beautiful horse.
Yeah. Wow. So it was unexpected, but it turned out really well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a beautiful, beautiful answer. Sometimes, yeah, I'm not a very good artist. So if I'm told to draw an animal, it probably end up being like a flower or something.
Which would also work out just as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rivika. So good to see you. Give hugs to your mom. How about our good friend Demetrius? Hey, Demetrius.
Hello,
Hi,
I'm
Demetrius.
Demetrius, and I'm 18 and I live in Florida. And for me, when I saw something like in an imperfect situation become perfect was, so this is kind of funny because when music theory right now we're talking about intervals and we're talking about perfect and imperfect intervals, and that was really it for me. Like I was practicing for an audition, and I remember while practicing I messed up. And I was like, oh, wait, that actually sounds really cool. And I kept playing around with the idea. And also, even though I didn't make the group I was trying to get into, a friend of mine who did told me it's really not fun and what it used to be because of COVID.
Aha.
Blessing in disguise.
Silver lining. That's what we say. There's a silver lining.
Yep.
Very wise, Demetrius. Very wise. You often wonder how many songs that are like very popular really maybe were born from something unexpected or even a mistake. Like, oh, I thought this would sound this way, but it ended up sounding this way and I actually like it even more. I'm sure that happens all the time.
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
think our musicians on here would agree.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Demetrius. Good to see you.
Good to see you all as well.
Yeah, always. How about John And I also see a dear face here, also under the name of John. Hey there. Is it Edward? Go ahead, Edward. Is it Edward?
Yes.
What a nice smile.
Thank you. My name is Edward, and I live in Kenya, and I live in Kajiado, which is and
Hello?
my arm has brought me close
Hello?
to God because I pray more.
Would you say anything good has happened because of breaking your arm? Was there something that maybe surprised you that ended up being good?
Praying to God.
Oh, praying to God. That's beautiful.
Yep.
That is
Wonderful
yeah.
answer.
It brought you closer to God. That's
nice.
very beautiful, Edward.
Edward, we pray for your speedy recovery of that arm, but you're young, you're strong, you're powerful, and you're a very positive boy. So I bet you heal very quickly.
Thank you very much.
And you'll be right back to playing tag.
When we get to Kenya, I'll play tag with you.
Yeah, me too. How about, do we have Simon and John with us?
Simon's not here.
How about John? How about our dear teacher, John?
He's locked down.
Ah, are you available, teacher John?
Hi.
There he is.
Yes. I'm not home. I went somewhere. I got late. There's so much traffic, so they had to log in the device. But I've been following throughout all. I'm not able to have my camera on.
Thanks for showing up, John.
Yes. Maybe I'll talk later. I'm not able to talk much.
Sure. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Peter, do we have somebody named Peter here? Also from Kenya, if you're available. If not, it's okay.
Yeah, there's Peter.
Yeah, I see somebody named Peter here. If not, we can get back to you later. We are about to go live on Facebook and start streaming Glenn Marsden's presentation on his Imperfectly Perfect campaign. And all of the answers to the questions that we heard today were so spot on. You guys really took time and thought and heart to formulate these answers, and congratulations just on learning even more how to share yourself with a group. This is such good practice for every single person here in expressing themselves, and also with public speaking, right? Because we're talking in front of each other. Even though we're all like family here, it's still you taking that time, taking center stage here on this Zoom and expressing yourself. So bravo, congratulations, keep it up. We've got an opportunity every week. So if we are ready, Dr. Caroline, and I'd also like to say that I've got to jump in my car and drive somewhere, but I'm still going to be on audio. You just might not see me the whole time, but I'm still here. If we're ready, Dr. Caroline, for Facebook Live, let me know.
Yeah, I'm just setting it up.
Awesome.
And then I will, once we introduce it, I think I'll be sharing screen for his video, right?
Yes. So everybody remember what we said. Please be thinking about your comments, questions, or reflections that our presenter can see when he wakes up in the morning.
Yes, please ask questions. Let there not be a blankness at the end, because we want him to be able to see this. This is a very Yeah, this is a very important person who has given us the time to be able to do this. So please do let's have the questions ready for him.
All right, stand by, everybody.
3:30 a.m. there.
And just like that, we go live.
Awesome. All right, hello everybody out there in Facebook land.
It's still setting. Sorry. Second. Sorry.
I got my practice in.
Okay, it was a bit slow getting there. Let's see. We're getting there. Yes. We're ready, Rebecca.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Hello out there in Facebook land. Thank you so much for liking our Voice of Our Child page and finding us and joining us here wherever you are in the world, no matter what time of day it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Rebecca West Hensinger. I am your moderator here at Voice of Our Child and also the director. And we are so excited today to bring you a special presentation from Mr. Glenn Marsden, all the way from Sydney, Australia, where it's about 3 o'clock in the morning there. So he won't be joining us live, but he has really done the honor of creating a video presentation for us, for you, about his campaign called Imperfectly Perfect. And so in the past hour here with our core group at Voice of Our Child, who log on every morning, morning here in EST at 10:30 EST each and every Saturday. We had a really great discussion with our group members here about what is imperfectly perfect in their lives and how they have found the joy and beauty in imperfection. And let me tell you, these kids range from ages 7 to in their 20s, and they had such fantastic and well-articulated answers. Just another bravo and congratulations to all of our kids here. So before we get started with our presentation from Mr. Marsden, I would love to introduce to you our founder and CEO, the reason why all of us are here, Dr. Caroline Verkijk.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you just so much for what you bring to the Voice of Our Child as our director, and you having been a former teacher, but the love that you have for these kids and just the way you're able to get them thinking and engaged, it's really a beautiful thing, and always showing up, never had a reason never to show up. We really do appreciate that, and we don't take it for granted. And I'm the founder of the Voice of Our Child together with my husband, David. And this is an organization that we founded because we wanted to give kids an opportunity to know the signs and symptoms of mental illness, depression, anxiety, and all that. And also to be able to know that these are things that they could talk to an adult about it. This is something that they should not be ashamed of. And also to give parents an avenue to know what their kids are thinking. I always say that wondering what your child is doing or hoping that your child doesn't end up with depression and doing something about it definitely produces different results. And today we are so excited to have Glenn Marsden, who is my new friend that I was introduced to by Rob Mark. We all know Rob Mark. He was a guest here. He's the author of Happiness from the Inside Out, somebody who truly engaged our minds, our souls, and really made us really think about what happiness is and how it's all inside us. And one of the questions that Rebecca, who's a director, always has a question for us every Saturday. And her question today was, what is the one thing that has happened in your life that has been imperfect, but ended up being like a perfection? And my answer to that was thinking about how we started the Voice of Our Child and what made us start the Voice of Our Child. And I said, in 2016, as a parent of 4 children, every parent wants their children to thrive. You want them to be healthy. You want everything to go right. You just want to have a smooth running relationship with them. But in 2016, when we found out that our oldest really struggled so badly with depression that she had suicidal thoughts, I felt broken. I felt ashamed. I didn't want to tell anybody about it. I felt that I had failed as a parent. I beat down on myself. I thought this is the worst thing that could ever happen. Here I was, an international speaker, traveling the world, talking about so many other things, about clean water for Kenya, education for the girl child, women rights and everything. And here was my child suffering right under my nose, and I didn't even see it. But that imperfection later turned out into perfection, because out of me finding out that she struggled with depression, finding out that it was a chemical imbalance, that's what she was diagnosed with, it made me realize that there was nothing that I could have done to have a different outcome. That's who she was, that's who she is, and I love her so, so much, and we have such a great relationship now, and she understands what she was going through and what it is. So maybe her sleeping in and maybe always being angry, or maybe just outburst, was just that pain inside that she couldn't even explain, because she was struggling so badly with depression. But out of that imperfection in my life, this Voice of Our Child was founded. It was something so beautiful that has brought so many of us together. I ended up going back to school, getting my doctorate in social work so that I could understand kids and mental health and all that. I ended up competing as Mrs. Pennsylvania with a platform of reducing the rate of suicide in our teens. And it just became a blessing in my life. So that Imperfectly Perfect just became this beautiful family that we created here, the Voice of Our Child, where we actually take troubled teens on a 2-week humanitarian trip to Kenya, because we believe that when kids are taken out of their natural environment into a different environment where they're engaging and helping others, by helping others, they help themselves. So that is how the Voice of Our Child came into being, out of an imperfect situation. So with Glenn talking about imperfectly perfect, this is just what it really is. And I just can't wait for everybody to hear him speak, because you're just going to be blown away by this young man all the way from Australia. Thank you, Rob Mark, for introducing me to Glenn.
Perfect. Well, that's the theme of the day. That was an imperfectly perfect answer, and such a great way to more formally introduce our incredible guest speaker today, and also to give our listeners a really, really clear idea of what we're doing here at Voice of Our Child, why we're here, and where we're going. So before we get started, I would also like to take the time to introduce to you our co-founder and CEO, Mr. David Verkijk.
Hi, everybody. David Verkijk here, co-founder with my wife, Caroline, Voice of Our Child. And yes, it was very difficult for us to go through that situation with our daughter, but it helped us to learn a lot and helped us to start this fantastic organization, Voice of Our Child. And everybody knows that they are imperfect in some ways. If they don't, they need to think a little harder. But being imperfect is not a bad thing, because it helps us to look for other people to help us with the things that we're not so good at, and it helps us to grow to be a better people, and to have great relationships with people who can assist us, or to be that, add to that thing that we don't do well. So looking forward to hearing Mr. Marsden speak today, and wish he could be live, but 3 a.m. is pretty early. I wouldn't want to be up then either. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, David. Yeah, we're just so appreciative that Glenn took the time to record this specifically for us and to share with you. So without further ado, if we are ready with the technology, let's get started with.
Yeah, I'm going to set it up to make sure that I can do this. I need to find it here. Sorry about that.
Technology is great, except when it's not. I think that everybody in the world right now.
Imperfectly perfect.
So imperfectly perfect.
Yes.
That is for sure. Everyone in the world can agree.
I thought I had already all set it up, but it looks like I need to go back here and get it.
So everybody who's tuning in live, please feel free and don't be shy to leave your comments, reflections, and questions in the box below the presentation. I know that Glenn, when he wakes up, will definitely be looking forward to coming on here and seeing what everybody has to say about his presentation and how he can answer our questions.
Let's see. Okay, sure. Let's see. Okay, I have him on the screen. I already said all this happened. Okay, how do I share my screen? Okay. Can you guys see him? Can you see him?
No, but I can't see you either. I mean, I think your video is off.
Can you hear him though?
Yeah.
You can hear him?
I heard him for a second. I hear him, but it's very, very soft. Very, very soft.
Okay.
You could ask our tech person to help you.
Okay. I need our tech person to help me.
Alex,
Yeah.
please help your mommy.
Sorry, everybody, with this technical hitch as we're going through this.
It's okay, it happened.
Yeah.
So where's this video from?
Technical issues always happen.
Yeah. It just adds to the suspense. Yeah.
Well, we could be talking to people about other things.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else want to say anything about imperfectly perfect
It's
before
playing
we?
now. Where is it playing from?
If you get it on your screen, you can share it through the Zoom share.
Yeah, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. If you notice that my son's name is on that T-shirt, that's because he made those T-shirts because he sings, and that's his name in his in Spotify and so forth. NJENGA. It's
If the people who didn't introduce themselves wanted to introduce themselves, they could do that as we're doing
yep.
this.
Anybody else not introduce themselves?
And that's gonna be in there.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So I'm gonna go here.
Let's see who didn't.
Oh.
Who's Galaxy? Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, David. Hi, Caro. How
Hi.
everyone?
How you doing?
Good.
Can you guys see the screen
Oh,
now?
now I see it. Yeah,
Okay.
I see it, but you have to
Wow.
make it bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we start playing it.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, just start it when you're ready.
That looks great.
What could we do without these kids? Thank you so much, Alex.
Uh,
Sorry, everybody.
Alex is the best.
Everything in life doesn't have to be perfect. This is an imperfectly perfect thing. Okay, so.
Yeah. Oh, but I can't hear his voice.
Oh, you can't hear him?
No.
Is can everybody everybody having the same problem? You can't hear him?
Yeah, it's
No, we
very,
can't hear
very
him.
low.
Their voice is soft. We can't hear.
It's low?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very low.
Yeah, it's very low.
Because mine is on full volume. And this is on full volume. I might have to have my tech back here.
Tech person, go back.
Weird.
Yeah, I have the volume all the way up for him. What about now?
No, I don't hear. I just hear that somebody's talking, but I can't understand any of it.
Caroline, you might want to increase the presentation's volume. That might work. It's
Yeah.
the It might be on
okay,
the
all right. By my
The
yeah.
only way we can all hear.
by presentation.
Where's the presentations volume, Yati?
Usually it's on the top of the screen where like the green bar is there. It's usually generally over there. I mean, we can't see it, but Caroline will be able to see it. Yeah.
Oh, hey, maybe. Hi.
No, that's the background noise. You don't want people to hear background noise.
Well, he had the voice of our child. This goes perfectly for our thing today.
Yeah.
Imperfectly perfect.
Yep.
Imperfectly perfect. To my sound.
Wait, can you guys hear it now?
Talk to us, but
yes.
If I can say anything.
You
Yes.
can?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear it.
Okay,
Let's
all
just
right.
start it over.
So this is our guest speaker, Glenn Marsden. Again, like I said, we were introduced to him by Rob Mack. And I'm just so excited for everybody just to hear him speak.
Caroline, can you push this? Can you put the full screen all the way on the right? There's arrows going up and down. Click on that. Down, down. Right there. Click on that. Okay, now push the button to start it.
G'day guys, I suppose I'll start with that, seeing as I'm coming from bright Sydney here in Australia. But first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to share this space with you and just say a few words. And really, if there's anything that I can impart on anybody who's listening, I know you're all sat there and just wondering who's this guy from Sydney, Australia, who's come on to talk to us. But if I can say anything, that if anybody is just sat there just thinking, what's out there for me? You may have come from a place where you've had a less privileged background or there's not been a lot of resources there to help you. But what I'm here to tell you is that there is a lot out there. There's a lot of people like myself, like these guys with a foundation that are doing incredible things that are really here to empower you, to change that mindset and to really show you what's possible. And they're here to really navigate that journey for you. And let me tell you a little bit about me. So I'm from a small countryside village in the UK. A lot of people knew each other. It was very small. I mean, the mentality around it was that you go to school, you get a job 9 to 5, and you get married, and that's pretty much it. But for me, I always knew there was something more. There was a purpose in me, and to the point where I felt like I didn't fit in. So what I did, I actually, when I got the chance and I went to university, probably the first person in my family to go to university, and qualified and just got a one-way ticket after I worked at a local health club, saved my money, just knew there was something out there in the world for me to go and achieve. And I saved my money and I got a one-way ticket to New Zealand. And I suppose you can say that led me to see other avenues and other options in this world, and learn about people from different cultures and just really immerse myself into it, to the point that I lived there for over a year and a half and then moved over to Australia, where now I reside with my wife and my 2 children, Lincoln and Leighton. And yeah, if there's anything that I really want to impart is I created a movement called the Imperfectly Perfect campaign. Now, the whole premise behind it was to really uncover and unveil the mask, what we see on highlight reels. So unfortunately, I lost a friend to suicide through depression. And it is very real, it is very apparent in society. And I want to know if anyone's struggling out there right now who's listening to this, please reach out to these guys who are here with this foundation to really help you. Because I'll tell you something, we didn't see the signs. My friend posted highlight reels and we thought he was living the perfect life, the corporate career, he had a baby boy. And unfortunately, when we found out, it was too late. And I suppose with me and my story, going back, I was always in the health and fitness. I was always a happy guy. I was on stage in front of a couple of hundred people. But inside, I was struggling. I started comparing myself to other people and their lives and their bodies. And it really took me to a place of body dysmorphia, which is picking on myself, perceived flaws, thinking I wasn't good enough, thinking what's out there. And I know some of you might sit there and you think, oh, but he's never gone through what I've gone through. And again, this is that comparison syndrome. We all do it. We all battle with the internal dialogue. So I'm here to say that if you are struggling, guys, just turn to that person next to you and let them know, because people do want to help you. We're not here to judge. And what I did want to say is that I created a movement called the Imperfectly Perfect campaign. Now, with this movement, it was really to disrupt social media, disrupt corporate silence, and to be taken around the world globally to change the narrative around mental health, because there is a lot of stigma. And that's why, unfortunately, we still continue to lose people because they daren't reach out. They think people will think less of them. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of strength in your vulnerability. You will go on, you'll conquer this world in whatever you want to do. Believe me, just speak out, reach out, because there's people there to help you. Now, the Imperfectly Perfect campaign, it was literally all accredited to my friend that passed. And I'd gone through depression 6-7 years ago. So I really had this tenacity and this resilience and this drive just to take it to the world and reach out to some of those prolific figures that you'll see on screen, from A-list celebrities to some of the corporate leaders that we see. And this is coming from a guy that was from a countryside village that knew nobody, that yes, I might have jumped on a plane and lived in New Zealand and lived in Australia, but health and fitness industry, I didn't know anybody. And what I did, I just reached out to people on the phone, social media, but I sent them voice notes. So as I'm talking to you, I'm leading from the heart, because for me to empower somebody, it comes from there, because I've been at the bottom of despair and I've lost a friend to it. And I don't want to see anybody going down that path thinking that they're not good enough and knowing that there's not people out there to help them. So I started this campaign. It was an initiative. I call it a passion project. And within 3 months, I was sending voicemails, I was networking, I was working as well. So my background's health and fitness, but I knew that if I needed to do this, I needed to do this during the day. So I actually jumped back on construction. So going from the health and fitness profession to working on construction as a laborer, I was grafting. I was doing 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. I was at one point 3 months in a row. When you start back on construction, you are doing the oddest jobs. So for 3 months, I was literally doing night shift whilst the machinery was cutting into walls and there was silica dust flying everywhere. And when this silica dust, it is cancerous, so you have to wear masks, but you have to dust it down so it doesn't go into the environment around you. And so I was doing it for 3 months. Can you imagine? 12 hours a day, 6 a.m. in the morning, stood there with a hose, hosing a wall, hosing dust down. You couldn't have your phone on you, you couldn't have music in your ears, you had to be alert because there was heavy machinery around you for 3 months. But what that taught me was resilience. It taught me to gain some clarity on what I did want to do and where I was going to take my message. And I can look back at it now as a blessing. At the time, it was hard. And I'm not going to lie. Getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning thinking, oh, again, 3 months standing there with a hose looking at a wall. But yeah, the campaign started taking traction and we started getting celebrities getting behind it. We started getting public figures in terms of sports, in terms of corporate. America picked up on it, and now it's probably one of the biggest initiatives, most publicized initiatives out of Australia. We've got the backing of over 300 public figures. We've got a reach of over 5 million and growing. We've got a podcast where we interview some of the leading experts, psychologists, holistic practitioners, all these celebrities, just to share their story. So I would recommend going to listen to it, because it's really going to show you that as much as we have that internal battle going on, thinking we're not as good as the next person, and we look at these movie stars and think their life's perfect, it's actually not behind the scenes. What we see on social media, what we see in the magazines, what we see on the TV screens is only half of it. So if I'm here to unveil this, I just want to tell you, I have now, within 12 months, this went big. So you can imagine going from, I would say, not knowing nobody, not knowing how I was going to do this, but leading with a passion, leading with my heart, and knowing that something that was far greater than myself and my ego was going to make a change and help other people like you guys who are just listening to this. Just know that you can do it as well. because that's what I want to leave. I want to create a legacy for you guys, for my children, for our future generations, to know that you don't have to grow up in a world where you have to think that you're perfect. We're imperfect, and that's how God made you, and lead with it. We can listen to people, but at the end of the day, guys, lead with your truth. You know who you are, you know what's in here. There will be people along your journey that are meant to stay, and there are people that you're supposed to learn lessons from. And trust me, I've learned them all. I could write a book on the amount of lessons and just seeing the other side of people, and people judging, and people, you're trying to do something, and people telling you you're not good enough. And you know what? The people that matter will be around you. The people that want to help you will clap you. The people that really are immersed in your message will celebrate you, and they'll help you get there. So we're just coming to 18 months now, and we've just moved into corporate America within 2 years. And we've just got our programs, our workshops, our resources into Fortune 500 companies. So these have got employees ranging from maybe 100,000 to 600,000 employees. Can you imagine how that feels? And for somebody who used to be so self-critical, who compared himself, who pulled himself apart, to now running an organization that's helping people with their mental health, that's servicing Fortune 500 companies, it's mind-blowing. But sometimes we forget that, guys, and that is where I lead by my imperfections. I forget how far we've come. I used to be still self-critical to the point where if I was quiet for an hour, I couldn't face it. I was thinking I should be able to do something. Why aren't I doing anything? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? And you suddenly realize, I can't even speak now, you suddenly realize that it's in those moments of silence when you get clarity and you get messages. Like we bury things in our subconscious. So guys, let me just tell you something that I really think is important for anyone to hear. If you've grown up in a world around anybody that may, at one time or another, it could be a teacher, it could be anybody that may have said something off the cuff, like, and English, that's very English. So off the cuff is just, they just said it and didn't mean anything by it, but you as a child and you heard somebody maybe say, you're overweight, or you're not good enough, or you're silly, or don't be so daft. And that's another English expression, don't be daft. That's don't be so silly. And you took that on and you really started listening to that and changing your internal dialogue towards that environment, and suddenly started believing in that. So every time you did something, it affected your self-worth. And because one person at one time said that you were silly, or you didn't understand, or you needed to lose weight, or you needed to put weight on, it goes in our subconscious and we bury it deep. So it's something that we really need to reflect on, and we go inside. And whilst we're young as kids, it's hard to do that. And that's why I recommend reach out to these people in this room around you. I'm coming from Sydney, Australia, guys, and let me tell you, if you need to reach out, you can find me on socials and I'll make sure that I'll talk, because it's so important to talk, guys. And I just want to say, I keep on saying that, and I've got so much to say, because I just want to leave and empower you with so many messages that if you ever think that you are not worth something, or you've got to live up to this ideal image of perfection, have a look at the campaign or see what these guys are doing with the foundation, and who they are and who they've spoken to. And we're human, guys, like A-list celebrities, sports stars, corporate people who've got $1 million in the bank. It doesn't make you happy. What makes you happy is in here, and those people sat around you, experiences, and just finding a place of true authenticity. So what I mean when I say authenticity, it's stepping into your truth. If you're going to try and follow someone's footsteps and it doesn't feel like it's your truth, it's going to be hard. You're going to connect with the people that support you and surround you. So if I can say anything, I don't want to take much of your day because these guys have got awesome things lined up for you. But just go into 2021 and lead by your imperfections. And just think that those that matter will be there. And those that are not supposed to be there, it's okay. Everybody's on this journey, but there's people to help you. And the more we think we have to be perfect, the harder it's going to get, guys. You're all amazing. I want to leave and say, just feel inspired that somebody who started with nothing, who came from such a small place and really, really worked hard to save for that ticket, to leave England, to leave his environment that he was comfortable in, is now running an international organization. And even when I say it, I'm blown away. Like I still don't believe it sometimes. And I look back and I see the things I've achieved. And guys, it's amazing when you set your mind what you can do. And yeah, just go through this life and talk. Just talk to people. And if you've got any dreams and aspirations, please reach out to me, because I'm here to help you. These guys around you are here to help you. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there with you guys. If you're in Sydney, Australia, come and see me and I'll take you to Bondi Beach and get on a surfboard. Only when the sharks aren't about. No, I'm joking. But yeah, guys, I feel privileged. I feel honored to be in the space with you all to share my story. And I want to hear more about your stories. So I know I've been speaking to the guys behind the scenes and they're letting me know some of the incredible stuff that you guys are up to, what they're up to. And I want to hear more about it. And if there's anything else I can do, just reach out anytime, guys. But that's from me, from Sydney, over to you guys. And go into 2021 this year, leading by those imperfections, knowing that if I can do it, you can do it. And these guys around you that are doing this for you are doing it for a reason, guys. They care. They want to see you succeed. They want. G'day, guys. I suppose. And
yeah, I think that was the end of it.
If there's anything else I can do, just reach out anytime, guys. But that's from me, from Sydney, over to you guys. And go into 2021 this year, leading by those imperfections, knowing that if I can do it, you can do it. And these guys around you that are doing this for you are doing it for a reason, guys. They care. They want to see you succeed. They want.
Yes, that's what it was. And that was Glenn. What a wonderful, wonderful person to listen to. And we are just so grateful that he was able to share his
G'day, guys. I suppose I'll start with.
Trying to get back to you guys here.
Yeah, he was so engaging.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
Very,
amazing.
very, very engaging. And I loved his story about when he started working in construction and how he was doing like this mindless work, you know, spraying that wall 12 hours a day for 3 months. And it just made me think that sometimes when we're doing something that's kind of boring or repetitive, or it seems like there's nothing to do, sometimes that's when we get our very best ideas. And it sounded to me, it sounded to me like that's when he really started thinking about starting the Imperfectly Perfect campaign. It was just born out of, you know, doing really hard labor and being kind of bored. Because he also talked about how his mind would go a mile a minute and he could never stop thinking about what he needs to do next or what he needs to say next. But it's almost like that job that was so hard and boring ended up being a huge blessing to him, because look where he is today.
That's so true. That imperfectly perfect. And I just so much related to him, you know, growing up in Africa. Like, I mean, he grew up in England, but like just growing up in Africa in a small village and just seeing the blessings that God has brought my way. It's just, I just can't even fathom it. I just can't even believe it, and the people that he has brought me to and the path that I had to go through. And it doesn't always, when people see you now, they think that everything has been this perfect, great thing, but they don't realize that there's a journey that we all have to go. And so for all the kids who are here, I just can't wait to hear like how you related to that and how you know, his story maybe touched you, and because you could be here thinking, am I ever gonna amount to anything, or am I gonna be, you know, maybe like him? But he had just told you exactly where he started. So I'm very anxious to hear everybody's feedback on this, and we'll definitely be sharing all even your questions and comments with Glenn, just so that he can understand the impact that he has created, because it really touched me. And I had listened to the video before, and that's actually what made me have that insight of what that imperfection in my life has led me to have right here, and how I was able to create the voice of our child from that imperfection that happened in my life.
I have a question and a comment sort of wrapped together.
Sure.
So when he talked about the construction, how it's mindless, and you know how it still allowed his brain to go and like still think, it sort of reminded me of like when I'm practicing just one thing and being super critical about it to get it well. Like, it feels like in that moment I'm evolving and getting better, and that feels good. But I'm curious how he was able to, you know, still get up each day and do that for something he didn't enjoy. Because for me, doing something like that for I enjoy, it's like, all right, I'm tired, and then I'll wake up the next day and do it again easily.
That's
So
good.
I'm curious how he did it.
That'd be a great, that's a really great question or insight. And it'll be interesting to hear what kept him going. But I would just have to say for myself, like some of the things that I have done in my life that have been maybe not so great or frustrating, it's just like you just have to keep going on, and just hoping that tomorrow the outcome is going to be great. You know, there's that saying that nothing good comes easy. So it's really just working hard at something and knowing one day it's going to be this. Even with the voice of our child, when I started the voice of our child, I reached out to so many people, you know, and I wanted ideas, how are we going to do this? And I can't even just tell you probably some of the disappointments, you know, people dropped, they thought it was really nothing great for them, like what is this thing that she's trying to do? And it was frustrating. I just was like, even like, who are my target audience? Like, how do I get to create this thing that is beautiful, that will engage the kids and the parents as well? And it was tough. There were times when I was just like, you know what, I just can't do this. I was just like, this is tough. And then once the COVID started, after we had already done the curriculum and we were going to start it in Kenya, and then the COVID started and we couldn't get access to these kids, I was like, oh God, I just want to throw in the towel. But I just really have prayed that, God, if you brought this to my feet, then you really know what I need to do with it. And look at where we are now. You know, it was like, you know, we needed somebody to, because you can't do it by yourself. I need all of you, but I also need, like, you know, people in management. I need a director. I need all these people. And then Rebecca just comes along and we're like, whoo, somebody who thinks the way we do, and somebody who's so driven and like-minded. And every day we're getting so many of you here, Dimitri and Shilpa, Niati and Lacey and Tamara and everybody who comes on here. You just make this happen for us. You know, even the teachers that we get tuning in from Kenya and everything, it's that persistence that something beautiful is going to come out of it. But it would be interesting to hear why it really kept going for Glenn. So good question, Dimitri.
I would
Yeah,
like to add.
Demetrius. Definitely. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. I just wanted to say, yeah, it's such a good question, Demetrius. And you think about when you practice your percussion and all of the repetition that involves, but that's something that you enjoy. But like you said, what about for Glenn doing something that he didn't enjoy, and all of the ideas that he came to, just such a blessing in disguise. I'll be interested to hear that answer. Sorry, Shilpa. Go ahead, my love.
Sorry. Yes. Very honestly, Caroline, I keep wondering the same thing, what you mentioned. What would have been the situation, or how would we have come to know about VOOC if not for COVID? I mean, of course, I also believe what has to happen would definitely happen sooner or later, but considering in the present situation, how would we have kind of like, met each other, or this family would have been formed if not for COVID? So the imperfectly perfect situation is again over here.
That's very true. That's very true, Shilpa.
That's it, Shilpa. You said it.
Yeah. Anybody else with a comment, a question, insight? We have to have all these questions for Glenn. Pooja, do you have something to say? Alex?
I would recommend going to the website. There's a lot of good information in there, podcasts and things to read. I was just looking through that as well. Some different celebrities that are doing a podcast about what they went through dealing with being imperfect, this campaign. It's a very, very good organization as I'm looking through the different things on that website. So I plan on listening to some of that today.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a website that you want to go to, the Imperfect campaign.
Yeah, they have all kinds of things, podcasts, and you can have emails sent to you. You can sign up for emails for them to send you things that tell you about new things that are coming up or new podcasts or whatever. So I would encourage that highly.
Yeah. Is there anyone here who felt like they can relate to his story, or they're going through that right now, or have gone through that? Anybody?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I believe when you're trying to do something that you're really passionate about, you got to know who your friends are and who your family is. And like I think Yati said one time in his presentation, to remember those who got you where you are today, and keep them close. Don't forget about your family, especially, and your close friends. So you have to really, first you have to figure out who you are, and then you got to figure out who you want to have in your environment, you want to be surrounded by. So I think that was really important how he said that.
That's true. Very well said, Alex. That is so true. It's the people who you keep, you are exactly like your friends, and that persistence too, because I know that with your music, Alex, I know that we hear you like 3 a.m. in the morning, like practicing the guitar, and you practice like 7 days a week. You are just so much on it. And I know sometimes it's like, okay, you need to put your guitar aside and help with the house chores or things like that. But your persistence in doing it is what really made you get to that perfection and be able to even produce an album. And but I could hear you trying to sing this song that way, and then you write the words a different way, and all that, and that's just so beautiful to watch that persistence. But out of that persistence, you've been able to produce beautiful records, and you've also gained new friends along the way, and also lost some.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
realize who your real supporters are and who aren't, who really is always there for you.
that is so true. That is so true. So thank you,
Honestly,
Alex.
it is in your imperfect moment is when you'll find your perfect friends. That's how you judge.
I
That's
like
how you
that,
come to see.
Shilpa. Can you say it again?
Okay, it's in your imperfect moments that you find your perfect friends.
That is so, oh my goodness, you said it really, really very well. That is so, so true.
Yeah, it's just like after hearing Alex speaking, I mean, that's what I felt like. It's in your imperfect moment that you know who your true and perfect friend is, kind. So
that is so true. Yeah, a friend indeed is a friend in need. That's so true.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, those friends who stick with you. Yeah.
I also really like how he said that you need to walk in your truth and lead with your truth, going forward in 2021 and forever. You have to walk in your own truth. And he reminded us that if you are trying to follow very closely in somebody else's footsteps, or kind of do it the way that they do it because you like it, or they were successful in whatever they were going towards, it's not going to be probably the way that it's meant for you to do it. We're all so unique. We all have our own gifts and strengths and weaknesses, and the way that we approach a goal is so unique and only for us, right? So we can't compare ourselves or our journey to anybody else's. And I think Glenn said that's when you really start to get in trouble, when you start comparing yourself, your journey, your success to somebody else's. It's just not a healthy thing to do. They say that comparison is the thief of joy, and that is, I can't, it's so true, right? I
It's
think we
very
can
true.
all really
Very
relate to
true.
that. Yeah.
Very
But
true.
just when he said you've got to lead with your own truth and do not try to follow so closely in anybody else's footsteps, because your journey is your own. It's nobody else's.
That's so true. And we all have different groups. Like I've watched like most of the presenters that we've had here in this group, or even the kids that we have here. Each one of them has their own gifts. Each one of them is so unique in their own way. Dimitri with his drums and everything and how he plays those drums and is in the band. Nobody else maybe can do that, as good as he does. And then there's Alex with his music, or Lacey with her singing voice, or Yati with everything that he's doing, or Tamara with all these things that she comes with, or even Michelle with just her little personality, or even Anita. Everybody, whatever everybody brings into the group is so, so unique. And if they compare themselves and say, oh, I can't sing whatever 200 national anthems like Yati, so I'm a nobody. Oh, I can't play the drums like Dimitri. Each one of you has something so beautiful and unique to bring to the table. And you might look at it as an imperfection, but it is really your perfection. That is what you're perfect at. I remember always when I first came to this country, and even now, like people would always kind of make fun of my accent. My kids actually do make fun of my accent sometimes, and I tell them that's bullying. And on how I pronounce things and everything, like who said that there's an American way is a perfect way to say it? In my country, if I spoke, nobody would think I had an accent. If I went to England and I spoke, nobody would think that I'm saying things the way they should not be said. To them here, they're looking at, oh my goodness, mommy, I can't even believe you said it that way. This is how it should be said. And I'm like, to you, you think that's your perfection. How I say it is how I was taught to say it. So my imperfection is really a perfection. I learned really proper English, the British English from my Kenyan teachers, and that's how I speak. But if I start looking at it as an imperfection, then I would, like probably shy away from speaking in public, going, oh my goodness, they will not understand what I'm saying. But I embrace that, what people see as an imperfection, and I use it to my perfection. I mean, that's who I am. That's how I speak. I have an accent because I can speak more than 3 languages, So sometimes we beat down on people and laugh at them. Oh my goodness, they have an accent. I can't believe they're saying that. Who even told us that the way we are talking is the perfect way? So
the people that are successful in things are ones that get teased and mocked a lot.
So true.
Like
I agree with that.
Yati went
Yes.
through that a lot as well.
Yes, a lot.
Anytime you start to become successful in something and you become like becoming towards a celebrity, that's when people start attacking you because they're jealous of where you are and they're not there. I'm sure Alex has come across that, Lacey because of her singing, and Demetrius because of his drumming, and
David, I think you raise a good point. When somebody starts really coming up in the world, doing great things, doing things that other people wish that they could be so creative or talented to do themselves, like Yati and so many of the kids on here, that is when the haters start creeping in. And you can really see that all over the world in like popular media, because there's all these gossip columns, there's magazines, websites, podcasts solely devoted to gossiping about people and tearing people down and starting rumors, and now with the prevalence of the internet and social media, people can really hide behind keyboards and type some really mean things that they probably wouldn't otherwise say to your face. So that's such a thing in popular culture all over the world. Think about it. People buy these magazines that are just full of rumors and hateful speech. You see it. And who are they talking about? Movie stars, musicians, you know, people who are famous for some reason or another. That is who bears the brunt of a lot of that hateful talk.
If you're a nobody, nobody will talk about you.
I
There you
see.
go. Yeah.
With Caroline,
True.
there was so much of that. She did so much for this church that we used to go to in Pennsylvania. She did so many things to help that church to grow, and every single thing she started or was thinking of starting, there were people that bad mouthed her and thought, you know, and mostly because I would imagine they're jealous. But every single thing she started, there was always some people in the background, you know, complaining and whining and gossiping. It was very annoying. But I'm glad she was strong enough to push through that.
Yes, it dents the confidence. So what they do is that if they can't climb up the ladder, I try to pull the other person down by denting their confidence. And I think that's what they're best at, and that's the reason I keep telling Yati is that's the reason they're below you and you're above them rather. So in all means you're above them. So just kind of keep going further. It was very difficult to explain to 11-year-old at that point of time to make him understand what it is. But I'm glad where he is today, and he knows why he is where he is today, kinds.
It is really hard to explain that to kids or teenagers who are really hurting because of how other people act or what they say. As parents and teachers, it is so hard for us to explain to them, you know, this is temporary. These people just wish that they had what you had. These people just wish that they could come up with these creative ideas. But as a kid, it's really hard to understand that. It's so hard. But kids, trust us. All of us adults here, we have been through it. We've come out the other side, and we see so much like gold in you. You all here are so golden that we promise you that every obstacle and everything that somebody says to you that hurts you, you will come out victorious in the end.
That is so true. That is really so true. So I want to hear from one of these kids their reaction to Glenn and how, if anyone connected with them. And I don't want to start calling out your names, so if you'd like to volunteer, otherwise I'm just gonna call out.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, how
Hello.
are you?
I'm good. How's everyone? Rebecca, I'm
Hey,
missing
very
you.
good, all the way from Kenya. Always good to
Yes,
see you.
it's nice. We've had a very warm day.
Good for you. We had a cold one.
Yeah, you'll get warm soon. So what I wanted to say is we identify with the speaker at all ages. And maybe we think this happens to kids only, even don't ask me how old I am, even at our senior age, you still find it either among friends, even relatives. It happens. But in a situation like that one, what I keep asking myself, what happens if I do? Like if I challenge myself and go ahead. And then I ask myself, what if I get cowardly or shy and not take the challenge? What happens? In many cases, when you take up the challenge and you're able sort of to go through that gate of criticism, of losing some friends, you cross the other side and you'll be surprised how much you shine. So I would encourage every young person just to listen to yourself and ask yourself, what if I do? What happens? How much does it affect me? What if I don't? How much does it affect me and where I want? Because we all have our goals. Even in the small activities that we do, we still have something that we want to achieve. So that must drive you. And if you say, if I do, what happens? If I don't? And of course, you must be brave. These are not for cowardly hearts. You must be brave, believe in yourself. So I'm so glad to listen to the young people. I'm so glad to be in. And Voice of Our Child, keep going. Well done for connecting many people from different parts of the world.
Oh, thank you so
Big.
much, Elizabeth. And your wisdom is something that we truly do appreciate. And I'm so glad that you say that, because there's I think there's a saying that says what if I try, some people say, oh, what if I fail? But then there's another thing, like, what if you don't fail? Like,
Yes.
we're so afraid. We're always
You know,
thinking of the negative, like, what if I try that and fail? But we never think, what if I try that and succeed?
and succeeded.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
That's what keeps me going, and I'm glad. So, regards from Kenya.
thank you so much. And you
We-
are
we-
just a very true example of a phenomenal woman who has beat every odds to be where you
Oh
are.
yes. Oh, you can say that again, and I'm glad.
Thank
So
you.
good to see you people. Thank you so much for this speakers. Thank you for the people contributing. We are all learning something from each other.
That is so true.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You're welcome.
And nobody is too old or too young to learn from. We definitely do all learn from one another.
Take it from me.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Elizabeth.
much.
Thank you, Rebecca. I've missed your face. I had you apologizing. You stepped out.
Yes, I'm in the car. I'm meeting some girlfriends for lunch, so I'm on my way, but still tuning
Wish,
in. Great
wish
to
you well
see
wherever
you.
you are. You have a nice day.
You too. Can't wait to see you.
Looking forward to.
Bye, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
So Lacey, is there something that you learned from Glenn speaking today that you can relate to, or just a thought?
What he said was very inspiring, and I'll take what he said into consideration. Yeah.
Thank you, Lacey. Anita?
I think his thing was very inspiring, and I like how he went through and explained how in life we're gonna want to act like other people and we're gonna want to look like them, but and how people are gonna bring you down, but you still gotta keep going on in life.
Thank you. That's a good one, Anita. Yeah, where you are now is not where you're gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tamara?
I wanted to say the speaker story is very inspiring, and what he said, it also like teaches us lessons, like keep on saying no, like what not makes you have money that have something that doesn't make you happy. What makes you happy is what's in your heart.
Beautiful, Tamara. That is really so good, because sometimes in life we keep chasing happiness. You keep saying, if I had so much money, I'd be happier. If I had a bigger house, I'd be happier. If I was born in a different family, I'd be happier. If I was taller, I would be happier. But truly, happiness is inside you. And if you keep looking, you probably will never find it. Thank you. Pooja, tell us something. What did you get from Glenn Marsden talking? What is something that you really felt like gave you hope, or something that just really intrigued you?
Well, he said that, like, I can't
You want to
really
review about it?
it right now, but could you give me some time? Then I'll tell a little bit later.
Okay, no problem. You could tell us a little bit later. Peter, we have not heard from you. Peter, are you able to unmute and talk to us? I think maybe Peter is having problems trying to unmute himself or log on. Rahul or Sandy, what is the one thing that Glenn spoke about that you felt touched you or made a difference in your life, or do you have any question for him?
What really touched me was that when he said
Like people always try to bring you down, but you should never give up and fight back. Like it was inspiring.
That's very true. Always never giving up. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Rahul. Pooja, you ready?
Hello, hi.
Hi, how are you? Good to see
Good,
you.
how are you? I've been on and off today a bit. So yeah, it was a very good to hear him. I think above the obstacles, what I felt was that he was trying to say that perseverance is the key. You know, sometimes the path will be very hard, irrespective of people being around or not. For your own self, when you take a decision, if you are if you follow with perseverance and you are clear what you want to do for yourself, you will achieve it. You know,
Yes,
sometimes it is more difficult, sometimes things are not always like rosy, but if you try your best, one fine day you will definitely succeed. So
that's it.
what he was trying to say, I felt, and we should not give up even if we find things hard, you know. So, and of course, if we start comparing at any point of time, it becomes very difficult.
That is true. We lose focus on the road, yeah.
Our paths become hazy because we start comparing with what other people are doing, where they are succeeding, why we are not succeeding. You know, that is a very difficult way to live.
That's so true, yeah. Never compare yourself with somebody else.
Yeah, because each one has their own journey, you know, to a, each one has their own path. So
Yeah,
it's
everybody has their own path and a different time to be able to get where they're going.
right. That is true. So we are all there with each other to inspire each other and to learn from each other. But if we start comparing, then it becomes a useless exercise. You know, we don't gain from this.
You know, truly. I think it reminded me of those race horses that have the blinders put on their eyes, because if they start looking around to see how the other horses are running, then they're gonna lose focus. So their aim is just to go for the goal, you know? And that's actually, we should have those blinders too, but otherwise we try something, and then tomorrow we go on social media, we see somebody else doing this, and we're like, oh my goodness, they're doing better than me. I don't even know what I'm trying to do will even create an impact. But we need all those blinders where we're just going. We know where our goal is and we're going for our goal.
That is true. That is true. Now, actually, we have so much exposure, so much social media, so many things where there is a big chance that we get distracted. We
Distracted, yes,
think about
yes.
how people are doing things and why we are not doing it.
That is so true, yeah. And to listen to ourselves, because like Tamara said, you have to listen to your heart. There's so many things that we have lost in life because somebody who doesn't even have our personality, somebody who doesn't even care about what you're doing, looked at you and said, that cross is too heavy for you to carry. There's no way you're gonna be able to do it. Like, I don't even know why you're trying, you know? And we actually listen to them. That's how stupid we are sometimes. We listen to people who are looking in and telling you, oh, you can't do it. Oh yeah, a lot of people have tried, and you're the one who came up with the idea. They never even, they were not even in your life when you were thinking about that idea. And you lose your goal, and you lose what you have decided to do just because somebody else told you, oh, you can't do it. And we believe them. I think sometimes we give other people so much power in our decision making that we give to ourselves.
That is true.
So true. Very true.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something about that, Dr. Caroline.
Sure, David, go ahead. Thank you so much, Fuche.
I think that person is, in most cases, yourself. At least it is with me anyway. The talking negative is myself telling me, oh, I can't do that, or there's no way I'm going to succeed in that, so why even make an effort to it? And I don't know if that's for everybody, but I know for me, it's not so much what other people say. I don't remember a lot of people saying anything like that, but I can remember myself saying to myself those kind of negative things.
That
And
is so true, David.
I think it's very good, that example, and I think everyone should write it down about put blinders on your face like a racehorse. I think that's something that everybody should write down on their notes, which I did, because it'll help you to keep focused on what you're wanting to do. I see that with Alex with his music and with his exercise. He's got blinders on. So if people would say, "Oh God, you're going to exercise again? You're playing music till so late at night," but he's got blinders on because that's his passion and his goal, and he wants to go forward with that, and that's very impressive, and I admire him for that.
I need a little of Alex in my life. I keep telling him, I said, I admire his drive, and he's so set on what he's going to do that there's nothing that we can say that will make him go like, oh, maybe, no. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do it again. Alex, you're such a great motivator. You're so disciplined and you're so set in your way that it's incredible to watch.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody else has a question or a comment for our guest speaker, or even just for ourselves, I just have to thank everybody for coming on today. And we love seeing you every Saturday. We learned so many different things. And today we just learned how we can be so imperfectly
I have a
perfect.
question.
Sure, Tamara.
Who is going to be our next guest presenter?
Rebecca will tell us that in just a minute.
Tamara,
Good
it's
question.
me. I get to be the next guest presenter next week. And Vanya, all the way from Cote d'Ivoire, is going to be moderating. I can't wait.
That'll be very nice to see.
Yeah, so our guest speaker next
Moderator
Saturday, is none other than our very own Rebecca West Hensinger, who is also Mrs. Denmark 2020, and will be competing for the title of Mrs. World sometime in spring, with her amazing platform of Wings for Recovery and opioid and just the damage that it's doing to our society. And I cannot wait to hear her story and her journey. This is one where everybody needs to tune in, because I've had little bits and bits about her life, but she inspires me. She truly inspires me, and you're all going to be truly inspired by her.
Yep.
Thanks, Dr. Caroline. And you know what makes it the most exciting is the fact that I have so many kids, even just on this call today, who are such a big part of Rocks for Recovery, for the worldwide project that I'm leading right now. We've got our kids from India, our guys from India who just sent me pictures and videos this morning. We have teacher John and Simon and Edward from Kenya. So there's so many kids and families on this call who are such a huge, important part of what I'm trying to do. It makes it even more special. So
you should have Pooja's kids do some Rocks for Recovery for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next week, I will get into how anybody and everybody here on this call can get involved. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys then.
Yes.
Rebecca, I have one tip for you. Have loads of Red Bull and come. You need to catch up with Vanya's energy.
I know.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, we love Vanya. She's amazing.
Yeah, her energy is awesome.
Like when it's Facebook Live, will she do the same thing as Rebecca did today?
What do you mean the same thing?
Like introduce like in the Facebook Live, like
yes, yeah, we'll definitely have our 1 hour where it's just you and us talking about what's been going on in our lives for the week, and that's what we do. And then we only tape the last segment of our summit. So we start at 10:30. do the introductions, and then we go live at 11:30, and that's when we can showcase to the public what is happening here at the Voice of Our Child. But that past hour, we just like connecting with our kids here and getting to hear what they have to talk about within the privacy of just the Voice of Our Child.
I have something to add, Dr. Caroline.
Sure, yes, go ahead. Yeah. And Alex, are you gonna sing later as Pooja talks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
come
I
on,
want
go
to
ahead,
say
Pooja.
in the
Yes.
beginning when there was the question, but then I wasn't here. I was just doing something around the house.
Yeah.
So, but I still thought I want to say, so I I asked you.
Please do. Yes.
Yeah. So some little imperfectly perfect moments I come across all the time, like because I teach crafts at school, as it's my passion, paperwork. So of course during COVID it's not been happening, but I have a lot of kids right from age 4 to age 12, 13. In so I prepare the paper material and everything. I draw things and do everything and take it to school. So there are many times when I think when I'm drawing, I'm kind of too finicky about I have to draw it perfectly, and it should come on the line and that way. And now after so much of experience, I have realized that even if I draw it perfectly, the child will not cut it on the line, right? I can't expect that. And
Yes.
just still be happy. So when I heard this imperfectly perfect, I just thought of this, that I make it very sure that I draw it well and keep the material very prim and proper, though I know that the kids will just take this and they just go. And that's the best thing, that's how depends on their energy level and their patience level, whether they want to do it slowly or fast. And I think I should say 99% of kids are, even if it's a difficult project, they'll be very enthused and yes, I can do it. We have that 1 hour
Yes.
slot, which they have to complete it, and they want to just make it. I think out of all the kids, maybe 1 or 2 kids are there whom I see with the difficulty. They say, I can't do it. You need to do it for me that way. But
Yeah.
most are very enthused. They just want to do it, and they're very sure that they can do it. And when they do it, I don't see that, okay, they didn't cut it properly. Oh, it's like this. My outlook changes
Your
when
outlook changes. Yeah.
I'm
Wow,
drawing.
what a
No,
beautiful
it
way
has
to
to,
look
when
at
I'm
it.
making the sample, I feel no, it has to be cut nicely. It has to be like this. And I tell them there that no, you need to, do it slowly and neatly. But as and when they try to do it and finish it, the focus is on that they are able to do it,
That
not that they
they're
are
able to
exactly on the line.
know that they did it perfectly.
Yeah, not that they did it very perfectly, but yeah, they managed it very well, decently. And the main thing I wanted to say is that the kind of I have some videos which I captured in school. The happiness on their faces when they, holding their final product and they're coming and hugging,
Oh.
and that's the perfect moment for them. However, though it doesn't come out very perfectly matching
Yes.
the original, but that becomes perfect at that time.
Oh,
And
wow, that's a beautiful way to
out of
look
it,
at it.
I feel very elated that oh, the children are so happy to see what they have created.
The imperfectly perfect craft.
Yes,
And
that's
not even that, Pooja. Can you imagine when our kids bring home these things that they have created in school? And you're like, what is this supposed to be? And they're like, it's a cup or it's a plate. I made it for you. As a parent, it's that joy. Wow, you did it for me. And the kid is so happy. But you as a teacher, you're thinking, oh, it was supposed to look like this, But
no,
in their imperfection, that was a very, very beautiful illustration. That was you really did think about that. You want it to be so perfect. This kid just wants to do it. And to them, that's perfect to them. So to you, it's imperfectly perfect, but to them, they really think this is perfect. You can't wait to show it to oh, look, teacher, I did it. So that's a
reminds me of-
beautiful way of looking at it. Wow, that's definitely, yeah, in-depth way.
when you said this, it was playing in my mind. Then I said, yeah, that is the moment. Though it is not like my personal life, but
Yeah.
that's what I always see, that happiness in those children. And at the end, like you said just now about giving it to mommy, in the end, they'll ask me for a pen and they just to mama with love and they'll draw hundreds of hearts on it.
And you're trying to imagine, well, that doesn't look like what I had in mind, but it's okay, you know? But to them, it's so perfect and they can't wait to show their mom. So that's definitely, if we went through life with that mindset of a kid, that this is what I did and it's perfect, then it's like, it's imperfectly perfect.
Exactly. That's right. I wanted to say that the next that we get inspiration from those kids, this little kids, because little kids are so positive and they have that confidence that, you know, this is what I did and this is how it is supposed to be.
This is how it's supposed to be. I know. It's just like when they start writing and they're writing upside down and they, you know, drawing their families and everybody looks like they have long legs and short arms or something like that. But they're happy. They're like, oh, this is my family. This is daddy. This is mommy. This is our dog. You know, imperfectly perfect. That is the best illustration. That really does it. That's good. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Pooja. That was very nice.
Oh, that's so nice. I know that's something that I'll be thinking about in my head too.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So David, you have a question for Glenn?
Yeah, I thought that since you want to send questions to him, that could be a question that we could send.
Oh, okay, good.
But you could read it if you want. That's fine.
How do I stop the negative things that I say to myself? I'm sure he'll come up with a very good answer for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to have him have something when he woke up tomorrow.
He definitely will have. Trust me, I've been writing all the questions here as they've been coming along, and I'll share that with him, and I'm sure he'll get back to us with wonderful answers. We're just so honored to have somebody like him just be able to avail himself to be a guest here. It's 15 hours difference between us and Australia. That's why there was no way he was gonna come up at 2:30 in the morning.
He might be getting up pretty soon. It's 4:46 in the morning now.
Okay, all right.
Almost 5 o'clock there.
Okay, all right. So thank you everybody for always tuning in, and for those people who are watching us live, if you'd like to know more about what we do, you can go to our website at voiceofourchild.org. We are all about reducing the rate of depression and suicidal ideation in our kids. And we do take sponsored teens to Kenya on a 2-week humanitarian trip where by helping others, they help themselves. And our great thing is that out of taking these kids to Africa, we could also have kids from Africa coming here for 2 weeks to also get to learn about how we do things here in the United States. So bye everybody, and we shall see you next week. Kids, in your imperfection, you're perfect. Adults as well, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
you.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. Good night. Sorry, guys, for keeping you so
Good
late
night.
in
Good
India.
morning.
No, bye. No worries. It's a
Good
pleasure to be
afternoon.
here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.